Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakuraso here, coming at you guys with a Starlight Rare Market Watch, and we're going to be starting from the cheapest Starlight Rares to the most expensive. I'm covering my comments as well, since I've come out on every Starlight Rare that has come out, and seeing if I was right, if I was wrong. If you guys like these kinds of special Market Watches, make sure to smash that like button for me. If we get this up to 60 likes, that would be awesome. I also want to give you guys a huge thank you. My last Market Watch, I don't know what happened. I hit 1,200 views. Like, if my market watchers can hit 1,000 views, I get ecstatic. 1,200, even more. So for those who smashed the like button on my previous video, left a comment, maybe you even subscribed. That was the day you subscribed. I really want to say from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. If you guys are buying any cards on TCG Player, please buy affiliate down in the description below, and consider being a YouTube channel member. And we're gonna get right into it. So Bahulita, the Grand Radiant Starlight Rare, coming out of Lightning Overdrive. Now, these are the cheapest Starlight Rares, and is the second most recent core set. You got about $93 here. If you really want a cheap Starlight Rare and you just want to have it to collect, this is actually really good. I don't think it could go any more down. If it could, I'd start laughing. But if you see this at a card shop or someone has it, if you want to try to offer them like 75 or 80 on it, I'm seeing that it's about 93 here. If you offer about 75, hard cash, that should be acceptable most likely. But this card can go up, especially if it's ever has some type of way of being actually playable in not just the metagame, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. Because I've never had this card, I've never seen this card been played before. Not the Starlight Rare, but the regular version of it, or any version of it that will come out for the near foreseeable future. Unless this card sees some sort of play, it's probably going to stay here, but slowly go up because it is a Starlight Rare, it is hard to get. And, collectors will pounce on a cheap Starlight. Uh, Antheus Intelligent, Meep Saya, Starlight Rare. This is the worst Starlight Rare I think we've had. I mean, it does look cool. It really does look cool, right? I really like how it has, like, the skull with the green eyes. If you guys don't know, green is one of my all-time favorite colors. I don't like the wind attribute, but, like, green in general is actually one of my favorite colors here. Any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead, except monster cards. So like wow, could have been a lot better, but it is something. I think it has some potential, but personally, it's going to be a very long time. If you have this card, maybe I'd swap it out for this. Like, it just depends if you think this is going to see any play, since it can, since its pendulum effect is a floodgate, but we'll have to really wait and see. Then we have Book of Lunar Crypts, another Starlight Rare from Lightning Overdrive. Now, these are about 120. We got about 28 listings here, and these are selling here at about, 116, 120. People think that this card has potential, and I've talked about this card so many times, but for those who missed it, I am going to talk about it again. Why the reason the card is not good is because it says then target two face-up monsters, not up to two. So if you need to book a mood one specific card your opponent has, well, guess what? You're going to have to most likely use book a mood one of your own cards, and you have to pitch a card. And this is all cost, mind you. It's just not a good card. That's the big issue. Does it have potential in the future? I actually think so, especially since, if you if you go first and you have this set, or it's a way of searching this card. If we ever have a way to search a book card, this card is going to go up because you can search it turn one, set it, you discard a card, you'll most likely be able to book two of your opponent's monsters. Pretty good overall. If you want this card, it does look gorgeous. It's about 100, about 125, 128. A lot of people know that if this ever sees play, it's going to go up to 250, 300. If you want to grab this card, it's a gamble. If you feel like taking this gamble, go for it. Hey, maybe it'll pay off. Maybe it won't. All I'm saying is, forget Starlight Rares. $127, there's a lot better cards to put your money in, like Ultimate Rare Book of Moon. That's probably what I would get instead, because that's guaranteed. Storm Dragon's Return Starlight Rare. Now, this is not a Rising Rampage. I think people forgot the Starlight Rare existed. You target a banished monster, you special summon it to your field, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only control one of these per turn. So, it can be used to special summon something during the end phase, get their effect on summon, and then it returns back to your hand if it's one of your banished cards. It's not too bad, actually. About $138 here. Going up to about 145. It's not necessarily bad. It's only got about goes quickly up to about 375, 400. If you want one, because it is quite old, and Rising Rampage is a set that's very hard. Well, not excruciatingly hard, but it's quite difficult to get first ed cases of, especially because the other Starlight Rares are good. It's really mostly just about Apollosa and the Wind Charmer. So, if you want one of these for the potential, I mean, as you guys see here, it hasn't sold in a month, and maybe that's a person getting a playset. This card does not sell too often, but if you could get it for cheaper, I go for it. I mean, can it hit this price? I mean, if people are barely paying 120, 130, they're not going to be paying 3, 400, in my honest opinion. So I wouldn't get it. Summon Great Pyro Phoenix Starlight Rare from Chaos Impact. Now, this card was worth a lot because, number one, people expected this to go to the moon. Number two, it says Salad on it. Number three, the effect's not bad. It's just Optimal Salad doesn't run this card, and I'm tired of trying to, feign that it does. You got starters for about 120 here. Light play for about 107 here. Uh, well, if you want this Nairman for 120 before it goes to 133, 140, 150, about 180, it's not bad. I think it could go up because it says Salad. It has some potential. The card will be played as a 2-of. If you guys don't know how Salad works, they link off with the exact same link monster to get effects and all that. So running multiples is necessary in the deck, and that is also why the deck is very hard to hit, especially with its extra deck monsters. Like, if you hit, say, Sound Like a Great Wolf to 1, it's like banning the card. But maybe not that bad, as bad as that, but it's pretty much a killer. Uh, if you want this card for 120 and you think it has potential, you could go for it. You might be sitting on it for about a year, but I think it could still go up to 200. Again, 120 is a pretty good deal since it goes up to about 180 quite quickly here. Gorgon, Empress of Evil, Starlight Rare. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, you have one copy of for 130. It goes up to 208. If you like this card because of the artwork, because this has gorgeous, gorgeous artwork, I really, really like it. It reminds me a little bit like Soul Calibur. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Soul Calibur fan as well. I really love playing the second game. I booted up my old GameCube around when I was about 19, 20 years old to play Soul Calibur 2. I think that is one of the best fighting games and fighting stories of all time. But again, that's my bias here. And that's kind of why I like this card. If you like the card because of the artwork, you have a cheap one here for about 130, 150, 190. Then it goes up to about 200s. So should you pick this card up? There's just better cards to pick up. That's just the big issue with this. Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 Starlight Rare. About 115, go up to about 123. Now, this is a card that I think you should be in a rush to get. If there's other cards you want to get, go grab those other cards. Definitely. There's no rush on this card, but eventually this will probably go up because, again, it is a collectible card because it's an Armed Dragon card. The deck only plays one, actually. I didn't know that. I thought this was at least a 2-of or a 3-of, but from what I've heard, you're going to be summoning White Dragon more than this card. But what I would most likely do is get this card eventually. Probably maybe when it comes towards the end of the year, maybe towards Christmas. You want to maybe take a look back on this card near the end of November. Yeah, about the end of November, mid-Christmas. See how it's going. This is a card you're eventually going to want to have, but there is no rush. Protecting Spirit Loganth, Starlight Rare. Now, I told you guys because I believe she was about 130s. If she goes down to, or about 130, 140, if she goes down to about 120 and you want to grab her, that's fine. If she goes up towards 160-ish, maybe 170-ish, go ahead and grab her. Well, she's going 200. So if you want her, like really badly, you think she's going to be good with the new agent support, all that, maybe you could grab her if you want. But again, that is a gamble. Let's see here. So they're selling for about 150. Again, we see a lot for 134 here. This might be exaggerated, so don't go crazy over it. Again, if the card starts going up heavily, and you really, really want this card, you really love it, grab it. But I still think it's gonna go down. Heavenly Zephyr Miranda Starlight Rare. Now, I personally actually have one of these. I got for about 80 cash and 40 trade back when it was 160, and I thought it was a great deal. It was if I got rid of it. $130 here. I mean, the card just, if it ever sees play, if that a player ever starts playing this deck, yeah, it's great, but it's not going to be that good, sadly. And that's the issue. Like, I've waited a long time for this card to be good. You know, it's just like no material. It was used a little bit and then it was tossed to the side. If you have this, I mean, you can keep onto it, especially if you have a playset, because that's playable. But I don't really see it going up anytime soon. I would probably get rid of it for another Starlight personally. Maritza Seahorse, coming out of Rising Rampage here, about 170. I don't know why this card's worth this much. Goes up to 280, 290. Again, sell this and you can just get better cards. That's my issue. Time Thief, Perpetua, Starlight Rare. Now, this is a Starlight Rare in the $100 something range that I can kind of get behind. It's 21 listings, 176. It's from Ignition Assault, which wasn't that good of a set, but it's aged pretty okay. I've seen a lot of sets age a lot worse here. If Time Thieves ever do anything, and Time Thieves are very, very strong as an engine, this is a card that is worth picking up, actually. Uh, it's a really cool card, especially because target a Type Thief monster in the graveyard, except this card, you special summon that monster, then you can target one other XYZ monster you control, attach one Time Thief card from your deck to it as material. So that's really good. So you can do your Time Thief Redoer. You can give it a specific material. Since a Type Thief card, they come in spell, traps, and monsters. So you're most likely going to want to give it a trap or a spell, and you're going to be able to banish it, all that. So this card's actually really good at bumping up your plays, actually. And then, again, it special summons from the graveyard. Really, really good card overall for Time Thieves. 175. If you want it, I would grab it. I don't think it's going to be some crazy gold mine, but I think this is a well-priced Starlight Rare, actually. Live Twin Lil Treat, Starlight Rare. 201 for near mint, 218 for near mint, 250. Listen, the hype for Evil Twins is absolutely insane right now. If you want this, I would actually suggest grabbing it. Especially because it is a beautiful and gorgeous looking card. I think my boy Jimmy Ha has a copy that's like, I don't know if it's, yeah, it's definitely this card because there's Blazing Vortex. Uh, this could go up to $300-400 for sure. And when we saw the other one, Frost, which is, I know Frost is used at 2 or 3, while this card's like a 1 or 2 of. But Unchained Twins, Aruha, here, about 195. I personally don't have faith in this card at all. If you have this, sell this or get rid of it for like this card that has potential. Or, this card that's solid. Or really a lot of other Starlight Rares. I think this is one of the worst Starlight Rares you could have. By far. If you have this, get rid of it immediately. Shooting Majestic Dragon. And while we're on this topic, very quickly, my next Market Watch, which might be tomorrow, might be the day after, I will be going over your guys' cards that you guys want me to go over, not only in this video, but the last video. This video is for Starlight Rares only, so just keep that in mind for you guys. And I do have a collection video coming up soon, so don't worry about that. And the next video, I'm going to shout out all my YouTube channel members, because I believe I got one new recent channel member, so look forward to that. But yeah, Shooting Majestic Dragon, 179, 187. I mean, it is selling for this price. Can it go up or down? Possibly. I mean, again, a lot of people are actually buying this. I think it might stay around 170 to 225. But we're going to have to see how it ages. Might go down, might go up. I don't think it's going to go up. So if you want this, just ease up on this. Guy, the Magical Knight of Dragons, Starlight Rare. Now, I told people at about 125, this was a great cheap Starlight Rare to have. It's a collector card. It's from Rise of the Duelist. Well, if you got yours for 125, you basically tripled your money. So congratulations. 405, 440. Nice. We like to see it. Now, I'm surprised it went up this quickly, but hey, it's good. If you ever find, maybe some card shops or whatever have like high priced cards like somewhere separate, and you see this for 125, 150, I would definitely grab it. There's definitely places that are probably undervaluing this card. And just to elaborate on that, a lot of stores, they do price their cards. Some of them price maybe certain cards, like higher cards, whereas like, oh, well, we'll make a profit on this anyway if it ages in like 4 or 5 years, whatever. Uh, people are like that. But cards like this, a lot of people don't know this shop to 400, so maybe you could get for a lot cheaper. That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. Phantom Knights of Torn Scales here. This was like 120, 130. Now they're about 193. So see that it came from Phantom Rage, and then we got Phantom Rage. We got Lightning Overdrive, and then we got Dawn of Majesty. So $60 and 2 core sets, about 7-8 months. Not bad here. If you want this, Phantom Knights isn't too bad, but I would suggest getting 3 up. This is a very good crucial card in the deck. Live Twin Key Sequel Frost here. 240. I ended up selling mine for about 240. Goes to 260, goes to 300 here. A lot of people have faith in the Evil Twin or Live Twin Starlight rares and the Evil Twin Collector's rares as well. As you guys see here, it does sell for this price. So, yeah. If you have this, I would just hold on to it a bit. If it starts dipping down, maybe list it then. Alpha, Master Beast, Starlight Rare. I mean, 190. Yeah, about 190 for this card. This card could be good eventually. And it is pretty good because it could serve as a kaiju. And it is good in, Beast Warrior decks. If you have this, I would suggest holding on to it. If you want this card, I would suggest getting it because it's probably the cheapest it ever will be. But do not expect the card to go up like crazy here. Sorry about that, guys. Allergies are terrible. Wind Charmer, Starlight Rare. Now, I told you guys that at 150, get it. It is a Wind Charmer. It could go up or down. Because the Starlight Charmer cards that we got go up or down, but those are a lot more usable. Unlike this is mostly definitely a collector trophy. 287. So I said that 150 to $200. I think it was like 170 maybe. If you want it, I don't think it's gonna go down. It does look absolutely gorgeous, but I don't know. I just think there's a lot better cards you could be spending your money on. Like I would rather get Hida Starlight Rare, which we're gonna probably have maybe over here. Well, soon. Traptrix Alamara Starlight Rare. Now this card was 120, and I told you guys to grab multiple copies of this card. It will go up to at least 225, 250, possibly more to around 400. Now it spiked around 330. Now they're about 250, going up to 270. Traptrix are always going to be a beloved deck. Traptrix are always going to get some type of support, I believe. So if you have this, don't be in a rush to get rid of it. I think it's going to never drop below about $200. So, yeah. Hida the Fire Charmer, Ablaze Starlight Rare, about 270 here. Go up to about 300. Get this card. This is probably one of the most competitive Charmers you could get besides the light one. I told people to grab them at 170, which was really weird how this was the cheapest Starlight Rare. I think that was absolutely ridiculous. I think it's because people were focusing on other Phantom Rage Starlight Rares, possibly, but yeah, 270, very cheap. I plan on getting mine next week. Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill Starlight Rare. About 275. A lot of people keep telling me, oh, it's the Ghost Girl Starlight Rare. She's gonna be so good. Oh, it's this, that. Just play Imperm. This card's not worth it. I'd rather you spend this money on another Starlight Rare, like Hida, right? Do not buy this card. If you have this, trade it in for Hida. Or maybe even Alamoris, right? Or even Alpha. Or maybe get 2 cheaper Starlight Rares, so you don't have all your money in one place. I know it's a Ghost Girl, but I think she's a bit overhyped. Low's $100. That's, yeah, Korean. Okay. Tri-Brigade Ferrijit, the Baron Blossom here. About 235 here. I really wanted a copy around 150. Ended up never getting it. It takes 2 Beast Warriors, or Winged Beast monsters. During main phase, you can special a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your hand. And you cannot use monsters as leak materials for the rest of your turn, except Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters, which is fine. If this card is sent to graveyard, you draw a card. Then place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. So, what it essentially does is it's used as a great extra deck extender for any Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast archetype. That's why this card's so good. But when you get rid of it to link off and link climb, you get to basically draw a card and then put a card to the bottom of your deck. So if you need something crucial, you need to dig from your deck, or you have something in your hand that you can easily search off, or you really didn't need it you to draw it or have in your hand. You'd rather have another starter card because you can find it when you need it. You can put that at the bottom of your deck. So, Really, really good card. I actually think this is a very good card to grab, actually. It's very generic. I could see her hitting up to 400, especially when we get another type of competitive deck after Tri-Brigade, after that ship sails, you know, maybe 6 to 8 months that uses this archetype. Or not this archetype, but these kinds of types of monsters. Iris the Sword Soul. Uh, 278. It's going to be here for a while. I don't really have too much to say about this card, in all honesty. I think it's not that bad of a card to have, but you know, it depends on how, you know, I guess. I don't really know how to say this. I think that if you want it, just keep an eye on it. This is a card to keep an eye on. I'm going to talk to a few people. This will be my next market watch. And I'll see if I think this is a card that you should definitely pick up. But if you guys don't know what this is, during the main phase, if a monster's effects are negated on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can activate one of these effects based on where it was special summoned from. Hand, you special summon a monster from your hand. Deck, you draw 2 cards. Extra deck, destroy 1 monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. You can only use the effect of Iris Sword Steel once per turn. So, uh, again, it's not bad, especially because it gets special summon off extender. It's very awkward, but I don't think it's a bad card for sure. Also the Earth Charmer Immovable Starlight rare here. About 280 here, 285. It's not bad. It's used in a lot of Earth-esque decks. I would trade this for Hita personally, but if you have this card, I would just hold on to it. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, Starlight rare, 277. I would get rid of this and I would grab Ultimate Rares and like a Book of Moon. I would not grab this card at all. Skystriker Ace, Rose, Starlight rare here. $300 going up to $400 actually. So wow, actually quite cheap here. What I would probably do is I would actually grab this card. Strikers and Waifu materials, they'll always go up to $700-800. DD Crow Starlight rare. I told people to grab this at $250. So if you did, congratulations, you made a lot of money. 450 go up to 500. When this card especially sees more meta play, it's probably even going to go up even higher, especially because it's Rise of the Duelist. So we all know how that sets Terminal. Lina, the Light Charmer, Lustrous, Starlight Rare. Here, 390 going up to about 450. So if you grab this card at about 350, you made some money because it's going up to about 400. I think this is the kind of Charmer where you have to sadly probably pull the trigger on this. Might go to 300, but you're going to want to make sure you have this one. So, unfortunate. Chamber Dragonmaid Starlight. I hate this card. I love its artwork though. Especially because it kind of reminds me of I think her name's Akinita. From it's the Witch of Greed from ReZero here, which maybe we'll look at some ReZero cards as a break here. Sorry, rare. People love this in Dragonmaids. You have 485 here. You have 490 here. Then it goes to 650. So this is actually quite a big steal here. 650, then goes to about 1,000. Wow. Okay. Well, if you want a cheap copy here at about 90, it's not too bad. I mean, it is selling here. Just an oof. That's all I gotta say here. If you have this, it's gonna go to the moon. I actually would suggest investing into this. It's a really good deck in Dragon Link. Dragonmaid, high tier waifu material. Pot Prosperity Starlight from Blazing Vortex here is 425. Going up to about 480. I mean, typical for the pot cards. If you could get 3, go for it. In fact, I want to go to see ReZero here. I think it has this thing. And let's search some ReZero cards. Okay, that's why. Silver-haired beauty Amelia at about 1,200 signed. You got the watermelon. I actually saw this, by the way. Guy wanted like 350 for it. I want to see, did it ever sell for it? It sold for 500. Wow. Man, I really like this one too. Like, I just like the artwork, the beach. I really do like Rem as a waifu. I think she's gorgeous. I think ReZero has a lot of waifus, believe it or not. Just everyone's too busy bickering. Beatrice, not a waifu, but I think she's one of the best handled characters in ReZero. I think she has a lot of depth. Really good. Leave everything to me. Rem 750. Memory Snow 600 going up to $800 here. I really do like this Amelia a lot more. Sold for 600. So yeah, white shorts is always money. Welcome to this world, $400. I'd rather grab this. Then you have Amelia Beach, which is actually insane. It's not that this looks great. It looks like she's about to go golfing a little bit, but this looks beautiful. But how is this $2,800 when Rem is like 500? Guys, Rem is insanely more popular than her, so that just makes no sense. Oh, okay. Bride in pure white. Wow, that looks great. Oh, $200. Hey, if you want to make some ReZero money, this isn't too bad, I guess. You know, it sells at 200, so again, sorry for the sniffling, guys. By the way, I'll jump out. What is this? Defying Despair. Oh, that looks cool. I really like that. Oh man, it's a trigger too. You know, but yeah, you got a lot of ReZero cards here worth some money here. You got the regular version that's not signed at 67. Signed, you know, RAM at about 320. Man, imagine if we got signed cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if people would like that as much, but you know, ah man, a lot of cool ReZero cards. I really like ReZero for those who don't know. Card sleeves. I actually have these card sleeves. Apparently they're $50 now. I'll teach you. Oh my god, I actually really like this. This looks cool. Then we have, oh man, sensing superiority. Okay, not superiority. That looks cool. Well, back to the Starlight Rare Market Watch. Enough waifus here. Well, not enough waifus. Never mind. I was wrong. Area, the Water Charmer. Now, if you guys have been watching my show for a long time, I stand this card when it was $300, $300 to $400. Now it's $625, going up to about $1,100. If you got this card, great. That's all I gotta say. If you want it, I still think this is a great charmer to grab. High rarity water sells like no other. Divine Arsenal A Zeus. I told people to grab this about $275. It's about $425 now. If you want your high rarity Zeus, that's how much it's gonna go for today. Lightning Storm Starlight Rare is about $348. If you ever wanted this card, I think right now is the prime time to grab it. Actually, it's a lot cheaper than the 450s, 500s usually are at. Effect Veiler, 515. Go up to 600. I have an ultis actually, so I don't have any need for this card, but it's not a bad card to get. A cherry code is very hard to get the Starlight Rares from. I think this card could hit 1,000. If you have a lot of money and you know you're gonna be set for like a long time, but you still want to set for the future, grab a playset. 1,500 could easily go to 1,000. Triple Tactile's talent here. Again, not only is this a very hard card to get, very high rarity, highest rarity card, and it's Rides of the Duelist. Again, terminal set, but it's used in the meta and always probably will be. $700, $900. I actually think this is fine. Like, I told people, like, because the guy asked about this. If you have this, keep holding them. Do not get rid of these. Dogmatica Ecclesia. She's about 737. I told people at around 400 she was good because, again, she'll stick around for a while. Just keep an eye. Maybe she'll drop to 300. Well, if you did, good, congratulations. The Win Charmer Verdant. Now we're at the top 3. Starlight Rare. Listen, I just think that for $900, personally, if you have this card, because let's see what people bought it for. Nobody's buying it for 900. People are buying it for 600, but no one's bought it in 2 months. If you guys have this card and you could sell it for above 700 or more, what I would personally do is I would grab a bunch more Starlight Rares, or even if you, maybe even 600 personally, because you would rather have, you know, a bunch of the other maybe cheaper Starlight Rares. Like, oh, you want a Book of Eclipse? You want to grab 2 copies of that maybe? Go for it. You know, you want to grab, you know, a Hida? Very good. You want to exchange it for Area or an actual usable Charmer? Go for it. Bad Starlight Rare overall, in my honest opinion. IP Masquerade Starlight Rare. 900 going up to about 1,200. I mean, it is meta relevant. I understand why. It's probably the best card in Chaos Impact. It's hard to tell about this card because I already gone to the moon. All I have to say is, yeah, if you have this card, keep holding it. If not, the ship sailed. Apollosa, Bow of the Gods. Now we have a moderately played for about 1K. Near mints are about 2,000. You know, unless you watch. Honestly, the ship sailed, but hey, if you want to get a case of Rise of the Duelist to hold, in fact, let's see how much a case of Rise of the Duelist is. We're not gonna go too much into Rise, but I just want to see what a case is. Well, that's bullshit. I mean, you can't pull Starlights out of this, so this has no business being that kind of money here. I mean, boxes sold for 150, cases they're probably around 12 times 200 here, about 2,400. So cases are towards the moon. But what did you guys think of today's market watch? Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think are the top 5 Starlight rares you guys should pick up? I've already said my piece on what Starlight rares you should pick up. What are gambles and what are hard? Remember, this kind of high of card, we don't know how it's going to be 5 years down the line. So it's very hard to see, but I would definitely hold on to 2 or 3 Starlight rares of your personal choices for the foreseeable future. You guys will probably see a market watch maybe probably tomorrow, if not the day after, or maybe if everything goes well tonight, I might do a double upload because you guys know I love doing double uploads. It's very hard. I'm actually working on an opening because I haven't opened up product in a long time. So we'll see you guys in the next market watch. Peace.